Hi there. Today, let's take a look at Lucy 2.5, a model attempting to do something with video that once seemed nearly impossible editing it while filming, without the usual rendering, waiting, or heavy post-processing. In short, the main question here isn't whether it can produce a wow factor demo. The real question is it a genuine market-ready tool, or just an incredibly expensive tech demo that looks impressive right up until you try to integrate it into a real product? And that is precisely where Lucy 2.5 gets interesting. Lucy 2.5 isn't just another make it look pretty based on a text prompt model. Descartes markets it as live AI for video, a system capable of altering people, clothing, backgrounds, objects, and even visual effects in real time. The company claims it operates at 30 frames per second with very low latency, while offering greater image stability, better frame-to-frame consistency, and expanded editing capabilities compared to earlier versions. In practice, this means one simple thing video ceases to be a static file and becomes something akin to an interactive layer that can be modified on the fly. And this is where things get really interesting, because the idea itself isn't new. People have long dreamed of live editing, virtual fitting rooms, instant outfit changes, live stream effects, dynamic advertising, and interactive content. Yet, until now, the stumbling blocks have always been quality, latency, and cost. Sure, you could create a demo, show a clip at a conference, or wow the crowd on Twitter, but making it work so that viewers see no artifacts, businesses don't lose money, and content creators don't have to wait for every frame as if loading a game from an old hard drive, that is a completely different challenge. That is precisely why there is so much buzz around Lucy 2.5. It does more than just demonstrate the capabilities of generative video. It aims to prove that the technology can operate in real time, rather than just in polished, pre-edited demos. Descartes is betting on use cases where immediate results are essential virtual try-ons, live shopping, advertising, streaming, gaming, and social platforms. Scenarios where video serves not merely as a finished product, but as an interface. But strip away the marketing and the picture becomes more complex. Yes, Lucy 2.5 really does look like a step forward. It boasts stronger temporal consistency, more accurate prompt adherence, more realistic VFX, and a wider editing range, from swapping characters and backgrounds to adding special effects and altering object appearances. A key highlight is the self-anchoring mechanism, which helps the model better maintain the identity of the scene and characters, even if they briefly leave the frame and return. For anyone who has worked with video generation, this isn't just a nice-to-have feature. It addresses one of the industry's biggest pain points. It is precisely these kinds of details where the illusion of reality most often breaks down. After all, the main challenge with live AI video isn't just guessing a single frame correctly. The real challenge is maintaining the world within the model's mind from 1 second to the next, ensuring the person on screen remains the same person, preventing clothes from flickering, keeping the background stable, ensuring new objects don't appear as if they were dragged in from a completely different scene. If Lucy 2.5 truly maintains this coherence significantly better, it's not just a cosmetic upgrade, it's the difference between a toy and a platform. But there is another side to the story. A powerful model doesn't automatically translate into a mass-market product. This is where economics come into play. On FAL, Lucy 2.5 is priced at 40 cents per second of video. Descartes' own platform uses a credit-based system, also following a straightforward usage-based logic. This is convenient for developers, no need to maintain a GPU farm or deal with infrastructure headaches. You simply pay for what you use. However, for the average user or a small business, the costs can quickly stop looking so manageable. Here is the simple implication of that price point. If you're working with a short interactive script, a test plugin, a promo demo, or a specific feature for a stream, it might well be worth it. But if you want to run long, continuous sessions, serve a mass audience, or build an everyday service around it, the costs can quickly become prohibitive. This is a crucial point often overlooked in glowing reviews. A technology might offer revolutionary quality yet remain too expensive for routine use. Consequently, for the time being, it will find its home in scenarios where the cost of failure, or the value of the wow factor, outweighs the actual production cost. Who stands to gain? First and foremost, platforms, brands, and creators seeking novelty. Streamers wanting real-time visual transformations, e-commerce services looking for virtual try-on capabilities without lengthy development cycles, and advertising teams needing content that adapts on the fly. And of course, Descartes itself, since it aims not merely to sell a model, but to establish itself as the infrastructure layer for live AI. And who might lose out? Traditional video production, specifically in niche scenarios where standard editing, green screens, and classic VFX previously sufficed, not because these methods will vanish overnight, but because certain tasks will gradually be handled more cheaply and quickly via an AI layer. However, we shouldn't fall for the fantasy that directors, motion designers, and VFX specialists will suddenly become obsolete. On the contrary, the more powerful the model, the higher the demands placed on the person wielding it. Achieving a great result still requires good taste, proper staging, a solid script, and the judgment to know when an effect adds value and when it merely gets in the way. This is where Lucy 2.5 reveals another key feature. It offers a clear indication of where the market is heading. A few years ago, AI in video was viewed merely as a way to create a single beautiful clip or short video. Then came models capable of better generation, animation, and style consistency. Now, we've reached the next stage, moving beyond simple generation to interactive generation. It's not about make me a video, but rather modify the video in real time. That is a far more significant concept, as it renders the video stream itself programmable. It ceases to be just content, it becomes an interface, an environment, and a sales tool all rolled into one. To be honest, however, that is precisely where the main risk lies. When a technology is truly impressive, it is easy to market it as the future of everything. Yet, the real world demands more than just magic and speed. It requires predictability, control, legal compliance, brand safety, moderation, safeguards against misuse, and, quite simply, consistent, repeatable results. Live AI will always face tension in these areas. If a model can rapidly swap faces, outfits, or scenes, the question immediately arises not just how do we use this, but how do we place limits on it. For the average user, the takeaway is fairly down-to-earth. If you view Lucy 2.5 merely as a spectacle, it is undeniably impressive. If you are a content creator, streamer, or developer, it opens up possibilities for prototypes, experimental formats, and novel engagement mechanics. However, if you intend to build a stable mass-market product based on this technology, you need to carefully crunch the numbers and avoid confusing a demo with actual infrastructure. So, should Lucy 2.5 be considered a significant release? Undoubtedly. Not because it is perfect, but because it honestly points toward a new direction. It is not just another neural network for generating pretty pictures. This is an attempt to transform video into a dynamic, editable, and programmable layer. If Descartes succeeds in refining the quality, lowering costs, and making the user experience as simple as it appears in the demos, we will truly see the emergence of a new class of products. For now, my conclusion is this: Lucy 2.5 is already significant, not merely as a novelty, but as a market signal. It demonstrates that real-time video AI has moved beyond the realm of pure laboratory fantasy. However, before it can achieve mass, everyday adoption, it must face its toughest test, the real world. Their success depends not just on the wow factor and speed, but on stability, cost, and control. And that is precisely where slick presentations end and the actual technology begins. Appreciate you hanging out for this update. If you found this breakdown useful, consider hitting that like button, subscribing, and ringing the notification bell for more tech news. Catch you in the next episode.